Wellbeing Wednesday. Welcome back to the Earle Wellbeing Instagram Live. Strange day today, Wednesday, extra one, because of course we tried to connect with the fab female founder, Grace Fodor, the founder of Studio 10 Cosmetics last week, and our internet failed. So fingers crossed today it's going to work. How are you all? Lovely to see you. Hi, so quick. Thanks for all the waves and the hearts. Sending you some back. So we're going to crack straight on, and before any further ado, I am going to connect with Lainey from my team. So Lainey will act as a moderator. So basically, if you have any questions to do with Earle Wellbeing, if you have any queries on Liz Love's discount codes or podcasts or features on the website, anything like that, then Lainey is your girl, and she is added. There we go. Okay, so far so good. I hope you can all hear me. This was the issue we had last week, do you remember? Anyway, I'm going to see if Grace is in the house, because we're going to be talking about how to get a glow on the skin. Now, I know this is tricky this time of year, January. How's it going? Monday was supposed to be Blue Monday. I don't buy it. I think it's just a marketing thing. Apparently, it was dreamed up by the travel industry to sell more holidays. So anyway, I hope that everybody is feeling fit and well. And, you know, if you've made new resolutions, maybe you're sticking to them, maybe not. But hey, small changes every day make a big difference. Don't beat yourself up. I did make one resolution, which I have stuck to, and that is to have a cold shower every single day, or a cold dip. Yeah, did you see my Instagram this morning, my stories? Gosh, it is cold. Anyway, right, here we go. We're going to gorgeous glow, even though this grey, drab January cold light is draining our faces, and maybe we're feeling a bit kind of out of sorts, maybe we're convalescing, getting over some of the seasonal bugs. How are you, lovely?
Hello. I'm not doing what you're doing, which is having a cold shower every single day or a cold dip. That's very brave.
Oh, listen, honey, I tell you, start slow. Start with like 5 seconds on your feet. You can do that. You can do 5 seconds on your feet.
That's a good idea. Well,
and then
when
work
I was
up.
in the States last year, I did do a cold ice bath. And it was interesting because they started off by doing a sort of almost like a meditation, and through your breathing to put you into a state of fight or flight, so that when you hit the bath, you've got your breathing. I was in there for 2 minutes. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to do it, but
that's
I
impressive.
almost can't bring myself back to getting in a freezing cold shower, if that makes sense. So just, it's mind over matter, isn't it?
But you don't get in. That's the thing. You have a lovely warm shower and, you know, wash your hair and do everything that you need to do, and then just before you get out, you take a deep breath and you say to yourself, I can do this. It's mind over matter. My brain, I'm going to tell my body to do this. Turn the dial down to cold. And if you've got a shower head that's on an attachment, you know, flick it on your feet, flick it up the body, you know, just go, I do every morning, even though I've been doing it for the last few years. You know, every morning there's a decision. Am I going to turn the dial down?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. I've got a friend who's a consultant, and she said it stimulates your sympathetic nerve.
Absolutely.
And in A&E, sometimes they use that to shock an inpatient. They just almost throw a bucket of hot water because it stimulates that sympathetic nerve and gets
and
good for you.
It does give you a little micro stressor, micro release of cortisol, which is good because it's about energy. So only do it in the morning. That's why you shouldn't really have cold showers at night. But on to easier ways, perhaps, to get the glow.
Yeah, way easier. Yes. So this time of year, it's all two things. It's all about the skincare that you use. The ingredients that you really need this time of year, because it's colder. We've got, our skin's much drier. It's much more lackluster. It's not as hydrated. The barrier is being attacked, isn't it? Left, right, and centre from the cold air, central heating, all that sort of stuff. And then paired with this, which is about adding that healthy flush of colour, warmth to the skin, and that glow. So one is skincare and one is makeup, and the two together sort of got you covered.
Now,
so
we've talked about this before, but for anybody who doesn't know about it, let's do a quick recap, because it's got some super interesting ingredients which will be lovely to dive into. This is called Hydra-Fusion Daily Defense, and it's, am I right in saying that it is a kind of a hybrid skincare and makeup in one?
No, it's not. It's 100% skincare.
Like, is it?
The whole, it's about streamlining your whole morning skincare routine, because, you know, generally you've got serums and moisturizers and under eye bright, all these different things, too much. And then you've got your protection. Then you need your peptides. Then you need your antioxidants. Honestly, Liz, it's like, I don't want 10 products to do this. So it's skincare first. And it breaks down all the areas that we, you know, mature skin need. Hydration, moisturization key. So we all know about hyaluronic acid, which we love. It's a water magnet. But this has 4 different types of hyaluronic acid. And it's because they're different molecular sizes. So the smaller the size is, because the thing is with hydration, you don't want to just hydrate the top layer of the dermis.
Right.
You want it to deeply penetrate into the skin. So 4 different types, different molecular sizes. So it almost absorbs deep into the dermis layers and keeps the skin hydrated.
That's
then
really
we've
unusual, isn't it? Because I've seen creams that are triple, you know, that say they're triple hydrating. They've got 3 molecular weights, light, medium, and heavy.
4.
You got 4.
We've
I mean,
got 4.
You're really upping it on. I love
because
hyaluronic acid. I take it as a supplement as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it is so important, isn't it? An ingredient in skincare, makeup, supplements, etc. I take it in my collagen supplement, funnily enough.
Yeah, same.
And we use the same one. So then I've added another buzzword in skincare. We talk a lot about squalane, don't we?
Love squalane. Yeah, I was talking about it yesterday, actually.
Well, this has got it. This is squalane's in this as well, because it sort of locks in that moisture, doesn't it? Stops it, the skin losing it.
So how do you describe squalane for people who are not familiar with it?
Yeah, so for me, and I like to simplify all of it, if that makes sense. So for me, it sort of mimics the natural oils in your skin, and it locks in moisture. So it protects the barrier, it creates a barrier, and it locks in that moisture. So for me, hyaluronic acid is about hydrating the skin, and then you want to lock it in, and that's why I think squalane works hand in hand. They're really, really nice products, or ingredients, I should say. And then obviously it's got the protection, which is really, really important. We can do a whole thing on protection and why it's important, and how we've used mineral, not chemical, etc. But the other thing about this is 2 other main ingredients that I feel for mature skin we want. One is peptides, tetrapeptides. Why? Because it helps stimulate the collagen production, and we lose collagen. So for me, having that in a day cream is actually when it's normally associated with your night creams. And I'm like, well, I'm using it all day. I want those really active ingredients, the peptides, in my day cream, because guess what? I'm wearing it all day. And if you're using it for protection, added protection, you might be reapplying it during the course of the day. So every time I reapply boots, I get that added.
So you can layer it on. You can layer it on during the day. I like to be evidence-based, Grace, so I'm gonna kind of really drill you on this. Where is the evidence that actually peptides actually work within the skin? You know, you talk about replacing collagen and replenishing. You know, is this something that is real, that putting peptides on the skin actually will have an effect?
Well, there is a lot of science-backed evidence about peptides, tetrapeptides, and why they're used in skincare.
Okay. Because you've worked with a scientist, haven't you, on this?
Yeah, I mean, unlike you and your whole background, you are the skincare ingredient expert. I'm not. So I'm not going to formulate skincare, but what I do know is what women mature skin needs. what I'm looking for, right? So I want to boost that collagen, etc. So yeah, I worked with Dr. Barbara Guzens, and she is a biotechnologist in genetics, DNA, and dermatology, and she's got a skincare brand out of Belgium.
She's amazing.
I mean, she is a scientist. It's about ingredients. So it was really, really good. And I was like, yeah, I want another example. Clarity of skin. I want to brighten my skin. I want vitamin C. She was like, well, there's other products better than vitamin C. For example, astaxanthin is really good. Peony extract.
Oh my gosh, astaxanthin.
Really helps with age spots, pigmentation, the clarity, uneven skin tone. She said the thing about vitamin C, it's a buzzword, you're buying into a vitamin C. She said, but it's really hard to stabilize that in skincare. So you don't get the effectiveness. So she's just really science focused, if that makes sense.
And then you've got an SPF in there, haven't you? Because I can see Natalie is asking a question about that.
SPF 30, we had a whole conversation. SPF 30, SPF 50. She said the difference between 30 and 50 is 2.5%, right? So it's not enough to really warrant
50.
You don't that, and I didn't know that.
I mean, even 30 is punchy, to be honest.
Yeah, it is punchy. But the whole 30 versus 50, I was like, yeah, but I wear 50, and there's a piece of research, and she sent me the study. When women wear factor 50, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's me. They're like, yeah, I'm sorted for SP. I don't need to worry about it now. And she said, no, you need, depending on the UVA and UVB, you have to reapply. And what it does is it lures women into a full sense of security, going, yeah, my skin's sorted for the day. She was like, no. And I did not realize that. But
you've got so much in here. I mean, is it literally for everybody? You don't have to choose a shade. You don't have to choose a texture. Doesn't matter what your age.
It is pure skincare for all skin tones, especially mature skin tones, picking off the hydration, the moisturization, the protection, the age spots, the pigmentation. But what's really interesting about this, because when you put it on your hand, because so many people go, oh, it's a tinted moisturizer. When you put it, as you just did,
not though. It's not.
It
looks like
it's
a tint,
tinted, but it's not. And you know why that is? This is where
tell me. I'm actually going to pop some on my face.
Really, really clever formula. Most day creams don't don't blur, they don't make the skin look better, and that's where I've added in a really clever, it looks like a tint but it isn't, but when you blend and buff into the skin, it blurs and it gives the skin a natural dewiness, so it really boosts the complexion. I don't know a skincare product that does that. And then what I've done is I've added, because you're like, yeah, you're a makeup brand, I've added a little bit of silica. And silica is an ingredient that you do get in primers, and I've added a little bit of silica because I wanted, what that does is it evens the texture of the skin. So it evens the texture of the skin, and it's got that lovely natural dewy healthy dewiness, so it has an aesthetic with skincare, but it's not
literally for all skin. So I'm seeing comments here about richer skin tones, black skin, Asian skin,
all skin tones, because even though it goes on tinted, when you blend and buff it's completely invisible color on the skin, but you get that lovely healthy dewy blurred,
my skin just looks kind of glowy, and so you cleanse, maybe use a toner if you want to, and then put this on. I mean,
you're good to go.
I would just tend to cleanse and go. Good. I love that. So Sozzy Mel has left a message here, or a comment, saying, I absolutely love Hydra-Fusion, a real game changer. My husband is so happy because I'm ready in minutes. Be ready in seconds, Mel. It's just like, whoa, shove it on. That's it.
And so
what's it doing in terms of skincare, you know, is it really delivering like plumping and firming benefits? Bearing in mind that most of my audience here, you know, is midlife and later. So we do
Yeah,
actually need a little bit more
and
volume in
that's
terms of pumping up the.
100%. So
Okay.
yeah, so the three, forget the protection bit. The three main things is hydration, moisturization, nourishing the skin, right? So you need to hydrate the skin before you do anything. You need that hydration. You want that hydration to last all day long. Number two is, like you said, the plumping. You've got fine lines, you've got wrinkles, etc. That's where the peptides, tetrapeptide 2 comes in. So it's an active ingredient really working on trying to mimic, produce more collagen. So that's the second part. And then the third part is the clarity of the skin. We want brightened skin. We want to help with age spots, pigmentation. So I've added that in there, the clarity of skin. And that's things like the blackcurrant seed oil, that's the peony extract to help with pigmentation. They are the three pillars for mature skin. And then you look at, well, we need antioxidants because it helps protect the barrier. Like if you've got stress in the barrier, then you're going to lose hydration. They're all the underlying elements. But the three pillars that women, like for me, is I want brightened skin, even skin tone, uber hydration, and then I want active ingredients to help plump out, help firm
and
the
to
skin.
Get
and that's
all in one, frankly, you know, it's more economical, it's a time saver. You know, we love multitasking products. Talking about being economical, you've given us 20% off on your website. So all the other things that we're going to talk about as well, which is generous. Thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, for me, it's important. 20% makes a difference, doesn't it? When you're
trying
a new brand for the first time or coming back to the brand. I mean, you know, your readers and followers and customers get the best deal than they would from Studio 10, because every time they use that, 20% off. So and I'm happy to, you know, I'm really happy to do that. So yeah, that is step one. And the thing is about makeup as well, if you don't have the right skincare, your makeup's never going to look great, because if you don't have good skin.
Do you put foundation on top, or do you find that this is enough?
It depends on you and what your skin needs, right? So it's like saying, if you put your normal skincare on, do you need concealer? Do you need foundation? Different coverage for different women. I personally need more foundation because I've got very uneven skin tone. I've got hyperpigment, a lot of sun damage, funnily enough. I've got vitiligo and all this sort of stuff going on. So I use a foundation. Other women might just use a little bit of tinted moisturizer, and that might be enough coverage.
Concealer, actually. I use just a little bit of concealer here and just maybe here.
Yeah, and that's all you need. So the coverage is the one thing I will say is most women with mature skin need some form of coverage, and the real problem areas, I don't like the word problem, but it's under eye dark circles, round the nose, chin, redness or flushing that you might have on the cheeks. So it really depends what coverage you need. But definitely this goes underneath. What's so nice about this product though is if you put any form of coverage, concealer, foundation on top, it really, because I've added the silica, it blends so beautifully. So it's not going to be
like a primer.
Patchy, like a sort of primer. They really blend and fuse beautifully into the skin. Whereas sometimes you get, especially if you're using heavy, full coverage liquid foundations, sometimes it can go a bit patchy on the skin. So if you're in that.
Couple of lovely comments actually, which I'll read out here. Victoria says it's like the Swiss Army knife of skincare.
I
love that. That's going to be a testimonial for your website. You're going to steal it.
I love it. But it
Swiss Army knife of skincare. Rants and Big Pants, love that, says it's a fab product. We recommend it to our community a lot, in capitals. Gillian was asking about vitamin C. I hope you heard actually what Grace said, that she doesn't use vitamin C because she uses better things for brightening that are more stable. Is that like the blackcurrant seed?
And also astaxanthin, which is
Polly says, do you need to wear a primer underneath? Presumably no. You just put this straight on.
you don't need to use a primer, because this gets the skin into really perfect sort of canvas for them to put makeup on. But if you need a primer, some women need primer because they've got very oily skin or they've got enlarged pores, and then you're more into specific skin concern primers. But no, you don't. That's the other thing that I wanted, to go from skincare, prime the skin, so I don't need to worry about a primer per se.
Nikki's asking, does it help to blur open pores? And somebody else has asked me to show the amount, so I'm just going to show you live in real time. There you go. That's the dispensation for the whole face. It goes on.
So it will help. It will help blur open pores because it's got silica in it. That's why silica is in a lot of primers. It helps to even the texture. If you've got very enlarged pores, then I would probably use a specific enlarged pore refining primer. But the other thing about enlarged pores is if you put the wrong makeup, the wrong foundation, the wrong texture on top of enlarged pores, and the wrong finish, that will really exaggerate them. So once again, it's trying to minimize them, but it's what you put on top. So if you're using a really thick, heavy, dry, cakey foundation, you know what it's going to do is really show those enlarged pores off, which is why you want things that are really light, that blend, meld into the skin, so not to exaggerate pores.
Noni says, love it, gives my face a lovely glow. So Sandy's saying, is it just a moisturizer? No. Where were you, Sandy? Did you not hear the beginning? How many things does this do? This does like 10 things.
Think of it as your daily moisturizer, your protection, your serum, your treatment, your under eye. I mean, the thing is with this, you can do it all, literally apply it all under the eye, your neck. I mean, if I read one more article, Liz, I'm like, oh, it's all about neck creams. What a load of old nonsense. I'm sorry.
Just take it all the way down.
Yes, and on your chest. It's the beauty industry trying to sell you more product. Oh, I need something different for my neck. Really? Do you?
Zoe says, absolutely fab product. I love it. Before we finish, we've got to talk about this little beauty.
Yes.
And I really want to know how to use it, because I'm always so nervous about things that say bronze on them, because I think I'm going to look up, end up looking like somebody on Love Island with great, streaks here.
Exactly.
Obviously, we'd be body doubles, clearly. But how are we going to use this?
I love it. Right. So whatever coverage you've applied, right, that evens the skin tone. So you've got beautiful, flawless, even skin tone. But
flawless.
as we age, mature skin, we lose colour. We need that healthy flush of colour. We need pigment. We need to add warmth to our skin, which is why bronzers really come into play. Absolutely, as you said, it can look too orange, you can look like you're on Love Island, you can look like you're too tanned up. And I've been there, you're my 17-year-old, it's like you look like you're in Barbados for 3 weeks and it's winter and it's grey. So
I just want to look natural. I just want to look healthy and glowing, and just a bit better. I don't really look too different, to be honest.
Washed out. We don't want to look, it's grey outside. We don't want our skin to be grey. So the way that you apply this is really, really simple. And I'm going to give you a tip on how to create, contouring. Contouring is all about creating definition, but it's about lifting. It's about giving you a sort of facelift, right? Cheekbone lift, and you've got to use light, dark, forget all that. This is a really good little trick, right?
Okay.
Focus on where the sun naturally hits, right? And if you want to really enhance these cheekbones and lift, I'm going to show you the quickest way. So where your cheekbones are, that's where you apply this product. You're not contouring, you're not doing any of that. So I like to put, it's so pigmented, I always put it on my hand first, right? And this is the quickest way.
Sorry if we're a bit blurry, by the way. Hopefully it'll come back. It's Instagram. Nothing you can do about it. Yeah, so it's right. It's like, so, which brush am I going to use? Which end?
I like to use the finger brush because then it's really directional. When you put blusher on, most women do this and they end up with this big band of sort of blusher. We don't want that because we're trying to lift our cheekbones and give ourselves a little sort of like, we want everything going that way up, not that way down, if that makes sense. So this is the quickest way to do it, right? Where your cheekbone is, everybody's cheekbones are in different places. So where your cheekbone
mine is here.
Just literally put a dot, follow your cheekbone, and then it curves around. So dot into the hairline. So just follow your natural cheekbone, then turn the brush round and just very gently blend it in. Because what you're doing, if you think about this shape, this C shape, is you're accentuating your cheekbone. And the reason why you can use this bronze
that's interesting.
Yes, exactly. Because you want it to look as though it's naturally your cheekbones. And if you do this with blusher or bronze
just
and a hard edge, that's not natural. You've got to follow the natural contours, right? So I do that.
Love that. Do you see the difference? Actually,
I can do the other side. Definitely. And the reason why you can use this on your cheekbones, because the colour absorbs, almost melds into your skin, so it gives you that warmth. But because I've got a very soft gold undertone, there's a little bit of pearl and shimmer that creates that movement. So that's why you're almost highlighting and lifting the cheekbones.
Love that. So you're getting a glow. Natural. And you're highlighting and you're lifting all at the same time.
And you're getting the colour, and it doesn't look like you're oranged up, tanned up.
Yeah.
Then I like to put a little bit just on the apple of my cheeks, so that when you're chatting to someone straight on, they can just see you've got a little bit of colour just on that healthy flush on your cheeks. And then
would you put it through here at all?
Yeah.
You put it up here.
Through the hairline. Down the nose, and then I put
through the hairline, down the nose,
and then I sweep it through my eyelids. And so when I sweep it through the eyelids, I sweep it through the actual eyelids, and then I bring it through just through the socket and above the socket, so it's like a wash. And once again,
I like that.
What it's doing is it's bright. It's like, this is the quickest way to wake up the skin, like wide awake skin, wide awake eyes, makes you look healthy, bright, fresh. It's the quickest, easiest way to add that warmth, that color, brighten skin. And then you can bring it down to your neck. You can do anything you like with it.
I mean, sometimes I find I get a little kind of white patch just here if I'm wearing something quite low cut, because my skin, I guess, over the years of having a bit of sun is a bit darker here, and then it suddenly goes really pale. So just being able to just kind of pop a little bit just here. And also, if you want to emphasize your cleavage, going out in the evening, nice push-up bra, something a bit low, you can just pop a little bit down there, which just kind of gives you that little bit of shadow definition, makes you look a little bit 100%. Fuller.
And also the other thing is it matches, because if you've got lovely sort of healthy, I don't like the word sun-kissed, but warm, healthy skin here with colour, you've got to blend it. You've got to blend it. The other thing about this, which is absolutely brilliant, following on from your theme, going out in the evening, and actually I was in the States last in December, and it was an evening event, and I had this like off the shoulder, slightly backless top on.
Oh,
honestly, Liz, I look like a milk bottle. I'm like, it's December, I've got no colour in my skin. Luckily I had this, so all I did is I squeezed it into my hands, did that, and I put it all over my arms, my shoulders. My colleague who was with me, I was like, right, you need to colour up my back, and it was instant.
Love that.
And it looked
And presumably you could mix it with a little bit of moisturizer, body moisturizer, and just put it like all over.
Yes, or if you're you're wearing your bare legs and you're like, oh my goodness,
terrifying.
It's perfect. And if you want more of a overall sort of sun-kissed like glow, what you can also do, let's say you're using a tinted moisturizer and that's enough coverage for you, or you've got a sort of medium liquid coverage, but you just think, I just need a little bit more color overall to my skin. You can put one drop into your tinted moisturizer or liquid foundation. You can put one drop into your skincare. So it really, that's what I love so much about these products. Yeah, that's what I love.
A drop of this into this.
Yeah, and that gives you an all-over sort of sun-kissed glow. What we've done is more sort of lifting the features.
Yeah, but I like that.
So that's
too, to be honest, that little C, that's a really good
great, isn't it?
Really good.
And then you don't have to worry about contouring. You know, I need to use highlight, I need to contour it. I mean, honestly, who has time to do that? Nobody.
Grace, it's always such a pleasure to chat. You give us so much information. I feel like I'm a little sponge, little makeup sponge here, soaking it all in, from, you know, ingredients to colour to technique. It's just so many tips, and it's such a pleasure. And we're so grateful for the discount. 20% is so generous. So thank you so much.
Nice to see you. And
you
happy
too. Stay glowing.
Everybody. Roll on spring.
Yeah. Roll on spring. I saw some snowdrops just the other day. That was nice. They're trying, aren't they?
Snowdrops.
Yeah, they're trying.
And then bluebells.
Yeah. And
I love it.
Well, crocuses and catkins and all of that. Yeah, I look forward to that. Anyway, lots of love, sweetheart. Great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Bye. Bye. And if you would like to check it out, don't forget that you can head over to Grace's website. It is studio10beauty.com, and that's studio and then 10 beauty, studio10beauty.com. And the things that we talked about today were Perfect Bronze Glow Plexion, it's a little bronzer, don't forget that C, and of course this fabulous, like 98 million things in one, Hydra-Fusion Daily Defense. I can still see you on my screen, Grace, but I think maybe it's just refreshing. Anyway, Instagram always has a little mind of its own, doesn't it? But we got there this week. A couple of things before I go. Grace, interestingly, mentioned collagen, and this is such a hot topic. You know, I get asked literally every day, many, many, many times a day, about collagen, and do I take it, and which one do I rate? I do take it. I've taken it for many years. This is one that I use. Ingenious Beauty, I buy it myself, I have a subscription, I use the Liz Loves discount code, and I get it every month. I love it because it's encapsulated, so it survives the harsh stomach acids. It does not get broken down into the amino acids until the contents are released. The little peptides are released in the small intestine, and it's been backed by a randomized control. That's double-blind, placebo, gold standard, independent clinical trial. So I like it. I like evidence-based products, and it seems to work for me, and it has great reviews. It is quite pricey, so I use my Liz Loves discount, which is, looking on here, 15% off Feel Ingenious. That's Feel Ingenious. Okay, feelingenious.com. Liz Loves, 15%. One of the other reasons I love it is that it contains astaxanthin, which is that amazing antioxidant that Grace talked about that you also find in Hydra-Fusion, and it also contains hyaluronic acid, again, which you also find in here. Really key beauty ingredients, and in fact, hyaluronic acid, some of the original work, and in fact with collagen as well, was done by pharmaceutical companies looking for treatments for arthritis. And there are studies out there that show that it's incredibly helpful, but of course it's very cheap and easy and you can't patent it, so instead they pursued various anti-arthritis drugs instead. But actually, if you do regularly take collagen and hyaluronic acid together, anecdotal evidence is that it can really help with joints and mobility as well. So as we age, why not? Skin, joints, hair, nails, everything. What is not to love? And lastly, before I go, the other thing that I love, and in fact, I had it on my Instagram yesterday, my infrared sauna using red light therapy, brilliant. Again, producing collagen, plumping, smoothing the skin. And this is my cell return mask. I switch it on. I used it last night. I actually have it on my bed. It's my bedfellow. It doesn't flicker in real life, that's just how it looks on the little phone screen. Red light, very good for collagen production, plumping up the skin, getting the skin glowing, pro-aging. Then you can actually use different settings with this one. Blue is very cleansing, antibacterial. If you have anybody in the family that suffers with acne or breakouts, get them to use the blue light, highly effective, no drugs or medication needed. And then pink, which is more for inflammation. So that's things like rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, inflammatory skin disorders. And you do it for 20 minutes. I tend to fall asleep with it on red mode because red light is also very calming and it just sets us up for a better night's sleep. Or you can do fast mode. And when you do fast mode, I think it's about 8 or 9 minutes and it does a cycle through the different modes. So if I'm going out in the evening, just need to give my skin a bit of a ping, then I'll just pop my mask on for 8-9 minutes and that's it. So sale return, they are pricey, which is why it's good to get 10% off. And you need to use the code LizLoves24. LizLoves24, that gets you 10% off sale return. They do also now have Klarna pay on installments, which is obviously really helpful. And the other one that I love from them is the neck array. Again, this has the same settings, but this is 360 all the way around. It's very robust. I've had this for years. I don't treat it very well, to be honest with you. Shh, don't tell them, but I just chuck it into my bag. I always have it with me. I've sat on the train with it. I sit in the car with it because posh around the house with it. It's really helping with this neck area and you don't even need to think about it. Keep it by the sofa while you're watching TV, just pop it on. And then, of course, they've got the hair alpha ray, which is like looks like a motorcycle, not a motorcycle, a cyclist helmet. And that absolutely proven to help stimulate new hair growth. So lots of great testimonials on that, not only for midlife women and older women who are having issues with hair loss and thinning, but also the guys. Don't go and get a hair transplant. Try the hair alpha ray first. Seriously good. Anyway, that is all about sale return, and their discount code is LizLoves24, so it's a little bit different to get 10% off. So I am going to be back with you live tomorrow. So we get three this week. How very exciting. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about hair. So we're going to be talking about very interesting new ways to treat the hair, new ingredients, new techniques. So if you struggle with fine hair, thinning hair, frizzy hair, whatever, do tune in. I'll be back with you live 12:30 and I look forward to the pleasure of your company. In the meantime, thank you. Hi Marika, hi Jilly, nice to see you. Thank you for all your hearts and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.